I want to ask you about that year, that breakthrough year that you
Mm-hmm.
had, because it sounds like you probably put your chips a bit more into one basket
Mm-hmm.
in trying to attain this goal. But I think this is something that, I speak to athletes a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe right now it's more in the sport of CrossFit. So people who are kind of like bubble athletes, right? They want to crack it to the very top,
Mm-hmm.
and they've gotten close lots of
Yeah.
times. And they have this epiphany where they're like, I need to go all in.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to do this, I want to go all in. And that can go like very different ways.
Mm-hmm.
It can sometimes they go so all in their own eyes, which means like sacrificing
Yeah.
a lot of their other joys of
Mm-hmm.
life, social interactions, hanging out with
Mm-hmm.
friends, going on holidays, and they become so laser focused on
Yeah.
the thing, whatever the thing is. And I'm sure a big part of that is being so laser focused on the outcome of achieving
Mm-hmm.
whatever versus, really diving into the process. And it ends up going horribly badly for
Mm-hmm.
them. So they come out of the year of going all in and they end up worse than they started. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened for you in that year that allowed you to suddenly unlock
Mm-hmm.
a new level performance and then eventually qualify to the Olympics?
Yeah, really good question. I think that's the thing that I try to talk about more now is like really importance of balance. And I've experienced what you're talking about many times,
Me
like
too.
when you're, especially like a big competition's coming up and you're just like laser focused, like all you can think about is a race. And I realized like every time I get to the race I was so exhausted because I'd actually been like rehearsing the race like 1,000 times up to that point. And the body thinks you've actually swam that race 1,000 times, so obviously you're exhausted. And I think for me, like in swimming we have a term like happy swimmer, fast swimmer. And
Yes.
I just think when I look back on the times that I've performed the best mentally, emotionally, I was just really, obviously physically in shape, but I was always very happy, very confident. And that that happiness and confidence doesn't always come from like how you're training. It could be about other things outside of your life that are filling your well. And a lot of it is the support group that you're, the people that you're surrounded with. I think sometimes it's very important to have something that you can check out of your sport. People always ask like, how many times a day do you train? And it's like, okay, maybe I train 4 to 6 hours a day, but it's really a lifestyle because you have to recover, then you have to sleep, and like you were talking about, sacrifice. But it's also carving out time as part of your training to like not think about anything related to your training. Because I think what I struggled with is if it's I the whole year only swimming, it's just there's no time for like to breathe almost. And I've always felt like when I had something else, it just made me more present when I was training. It made me more like appreciate what I was doing. So I think that's really important, is to kind of, and honestly, I think that COVID taught a lot of athletes that you don't need to overtrain or like overly focus. I think a big thing is training smarter and training more efficiently, and like rest, breaks. That's always very important. And the breaks don't have to be like physical breaks, but mental breaks as well.
I think just the whole idea of just being present,
Yeah.
right? So when it's time to swim or do the thing, then you're fully
Yeah.
immersed in doing that thing. And then when you're not doing the thing, your brain to be doing whatever the thing that
Yeah.
you're doing, if it's sitting still, if it's watching television, if it's journaling, if it's reading a book.
Yeah.
You know what's funny right now in you saying all that and me realizing like this is my own therapy right now is so I've really explored psychology a lot. Something I'm really interested in, mainly because of my own journey and trying to understand my brain and how it all works, and uncovering and understanding everything that's happened up until this point, but also with the athletes that I'm working with. But more recently I've started playing golf.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So that's when you really know that you're old and it's time to stop sport, is when you start playing golf. And I'm realizing in listening to your story that I am right now attaching a lot of expectation on the performance of my rounds of golf. So like Thursday mornings is like my time to hang out with my friends, go play golf. We play in the morning, get back into in the afternoon. And it's become something that's consuming my mind so much right now. Wednesday night, terrible night's sleep every time. I'm just envisioning every shot going, and they're positive visualizations. I've even got a golf club in my office that I swing every morning just to like get the reps in. But I'm realizing now that I have gotten to my point without even calling myself out on it.
Yeah.
And I'm placing, there's basically that I need to sit with this.
Yeah.
I need to figure out what's driving me to think that I need to play well when I go out, and I need to hit a certain score. I need to play a certain way, and why I feel frustrated when I don't. And to be honest, like I'm already half aware of it, and the language I'm using around it when I talk to other people about it is like, oh, I'm just here for fun. Like score doesn't really matter. I'm out with my friends. The nature's beautiful. Like this is amazing anyway, regardless of the score. But deep inside, I'm fucking pissed that I'm like, how are my scores getting worse? So anyway, again, vulnerability being self-therapy. Thank you for sharing your story, because that has just made me think about mine and what I need to.
It's because you're competitive.
I think, that is it. But then it's like channeling that competitiveness into something that's actually, it's like, at the end of the day, the score is not something I can control. Like I have things that I can control, like my technique, my mindset coming into a golf round, like what do I want to achieve, intentions. And I'm getting pulled out of that right now. Anyway, good shit. I need to
just to bring it back to why you're doing it too.